joins us live now. Ross, incredible interview. We checked into David Grush's credentials. We did our own due diligence here at NewsNation. All of his credentials stack up, but there's nothing like actually sitting down with someone, looking them in the eye for hours face to face to really get a read on them. Why do you say that David Grush is so believable here?
Look, the most persuasive thing for me is the simple fact that I was introduced to Mr. Grush by people who told me about him from within the legacy UAP crash retrieval program. I wrote a book about this subject a couple of years ago, and because of the contacts that I made in the course of researching that book, I became aware of the existence of the crash retrieval program, and I became aware of the existence of Mr. Grush, who was basically conducting his investigations for the UAP task force. I've known about him for some time, and many people have vouched for his credibility, and indeed I've heard nothing but good about him.
The number one thing that I've heard, Ross, my friends have been texting me for the last hour. First of all, they've been riveted by your interview, but most of my friends have texted me, look, I'm skeptical because I want to see proof. I'm going to remain skeptical until I can actually see some evidence of this.
I can assure you and your viewers, Mr. Grush wants you to see the proof that he has seen. The difficulty is that the crazy thing about ARROW, which is the current investigative body that is supposedly charged with investigating the phenomenon, is that the Congress has mandated that the public get to know the truth, but the Pentagon has neutered the very body that it's trusted to do these investigations. It doesn't have the Title 50 classified information access that Mr. Grush had. Because of Mr. Grush's extraordinarily high security classification, he was allowed to see, hear and read things and talk to people who Congress isn't even allowed to talk to, and who members of ARROW, the Pentagon's supposed UFO investigation body, aren't allowed to talk to. And so he wants you all to see that evidence. And so that's the reason why he's gone to the Inspector General with his reprisal complaint, who referred him on to the Congress, and he's given evidence detailing all of that information to the extent that he can to those confidential committees in secret hearings, the Senate Intelligence Committee and the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. And it's that information that he now wants brought out, hopefully in an open, transparent public hearing.
It's a good point you make that ARROW, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, they're the ones who are supposed to be investigating the UFOs. He claims they don't even have the information that they need. They don't even really know what's going on. But I've got to ask you, you've been studying this stuff for a long time. Do you believe everything that he said? Because I kind of walked away from it thinking, like, some of it I found to be believable. Other parts I felt more skeptical of. Do you think everything he says is truth?
Look, it's ultimately impossible for you and me to test his claims. What he wants is for his claims to be tested. He wants us to be skeptical. The reason he's come forward is because he's frustrated that what's happening at the moment is the Pentagon, frankly, is engineering a cover-up. It's lying to the American public. I can say that because I'm an Australian. Throw me in jail if you like. But the simple fact is, your Pentagon, your Department of Defence is lying to you. And I know that because I've spoken to people in the program who tell me that what Mr. Grush is telling you is the truth. And the huge frustration that he and indeed some of his own colleagues who are still in ARROW feel is that you, the American public, deserve the truth. Now, the thing that I really respect and admire, I trained as a lawyer as a younger man, and I love and respect the American Constitution. You have transparency and accountability controls in your Congress that are absolutely magnificent. And people like Dave Grush, he's only one of an enormous number of people who've now come forward and indicated their willingness to give evidence to the Congress. They've given evidence in secret to those committees in the Congress. The Congress already has this information.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.